Okay, let's continue with our sessions today. We'll have multiple sessions as tomorrow is a public holiday in Croatia, so I don't need to work, so I can spend more time on this. So today I want to handle a drawing of bitmaps, and that's gonna be a bit difficult because I don't want to create entire batching system. I want to go with as minimum as possible to draw a bitmap on screen, actually draw a sprite. So minimum as possible, really minimum as possible. And it's not gonna be easy, but I don't think it's gonna be too hard. So let me, I have this idea, I'm not sure if it will work, so this is kind of an experiment as well. So I have this idea where, let me try to draw that out. Right, we have our bitmaps, right? So let's say we have two bitmaps A and B, right? There will be more, right? So there will be more. So X here. There's more bitmaps. So these are our bitmaps, B and P, right? And whenever we draw our, we start our frame here. So that's frame, start frame. Let me draw it like this, start frame, and there's an end frame in here. End frame, and now I want to do a call. So currently we are doing just one draw call with that built-in texture, but I want to do set multiple draw calls. For example, draw A, right? Draw B, draw C, and so on, right? Draw C. Okay. And each of these draw calls will entail two things. So we will take that bitmap and we will upload BMP to GL texture. And then we will issue a draw call. And I'm not sure if this will work because we have only one GL texture, and it's gonna be, so this GL texture, it's gonna be a 16 by 16 texture in memory. And since all our sprites are 16 by 16, the idea here is that I can upload it, right? And then, so this is upload BMP8 to GL texture and then issue a draw call. But when I'm drawing now BMP this here, right? So again, upload BMPB, right? To GL texture. And then issue a draw call again, right? So that's our second draw call. And this is very inefficient and nobody will probably do that, but that's the smallest step that we can do. So I'm wondering if this will work because, well, basically I believe that, I kind of think, I'm not sure, and this will prove, that OpenGL buffers all these commands. So GL buffer, I'm not sure if that's buffer, and if it doesn't do an actual draw call here, we will overwrite the bitmap with the latest one, which will in this case be this draw C, right? So that will overwrite everything. And it's possible that we won't see the correct bitmaps at correct places. It's possible that we will see the last bitmap that we have uploaded to OpenGL texture. And I'm really not sure if this will work, but I think it's a way forward. So we will definitely see some kind of bitmap, but Yeah, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. So first we will need to kind of define the API for this. So currently we don't have any API for where a game can instruct the engine to load a bitmap. So we need to do that. So we already do have some stuff in the where we've loaded the bitmap, So we've already defined the pixel format and the bitmap structure itself, and we have this inline function get bitmap pixel size, which tells us how many bytes per pixel they have. And we can obviously just copy these things into our engine API so that the game has an access to it, right? And I will put these under assets, because we will also need to have stuff for sounds and music. All right. And then I can define engine API functions that simply loads a bitmap for me. And I don't actually need to even define function that releases the bitmap, right? Because everything will be in the memory arena. Let me see if I have memory arenas here, or do I need to do I need to go down a bit to get that memory arena definition somewhere? Where's the memory arena? Yeah, here it is. It's all the way down. That's bad. But anyway, we can put it in here. So that's our assets. And now we can define an engine API function. eAPI-fn. Again, this... and I can say it's a bitmap pointer, right? And I can say load bitmap. It's gonna be, it will have const. Let's make a memory arena first. So we always pass in memory arena, and const char file name. And the function will return null if, we cannot load the bitmap. It's gonna be a very easy function. So we always define another structure, right? What is it? We say that we want some kind of API. So I will just have this under asset API, dev struct, asset API. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. You brilliant copilot. And now we also need to modify our function that game init function, which also needs to take an asset API. As we called it, I will call it as, not assets. No, as. Oh, what did I do? Just as. I want to call it as because that library as imp. Yeah, it doesn't. We will call it assets here, and then we will call it as in the Pac-Man game itself, right? So that's it, and we need to. So what we did, we had this static asset API assets. We're gonna call it as here. Did you mean it's asset API? Yeah. And then I'll go asset API. pointer in as, and I'll just say, I don't know, as is in as up. So that's as an ASS as an assets. Don't. I'm not monetizing this channel, but please don't demonetize me. Okay, and somewhere in here we will just load. We will load probably 2 or 3 assets. Just put that under to do load assets. I need to fix my stuff in here first, because obviously okay, do here yeah, let's do it like this. Asset API as is 0, right? And we will probably need to, load bitmap is null for now. So okay, that's also a to do. And now we can just say as like this. So that should now compile. Debug. Yes, it compiles, but it's not yet done. I need to step away quickly. So let's make a short break. Okay, so back. So we were doing something. Yes, we were. So in here, obviously, I need to push in some kind of function that actually does the work. And we will obviously not use this function from our engine. We will use it only from our game. And let's see, there's an error in bitmap page. Yeah, there's a bunch of redefinitions in here. We will kill this bitmap page anyways now, because why would we have it? But yeah, we can now basically implement. I'm not sure even if this bitmap page is included in anywhere. So backman bitmap H, no, not included in here. Where is it included from? How can I find references? GR? No references found. Very strange. I think I can just try to build it, right? Yeah. It that what? Consolidate compiler generate dependencies of target pacman. Consolidate compiler. I'm not sure what that means. So there's no. This is not even used anywhere, so that's fine. And we will need to implement this function somewhere. So let's. I hate that we use file pointer for this. Should we use file pointer for this or not? Should we or should we not use the file pointer for this? Anyway, I think I'll just kill it all. MA, go down, DTA, save, go in here, add a file. I will call it just assets inline C, open it up and paste it in. And I will need include stud int. I will need include engine API. And it should be include. And I think I don't have any more problems here. Let's see that. No, everything looks fine. This obviously doesn't implement our own stuff, but what we will do now in the runtime, it's gonna be brilliant. It's gonna be brilliant. In the runtime, we will include this thing. Include it here. Yes. Include it in here. Just simple include. Engine import assets.inline.c, and we are done, almost done. But now I need to wrap that function, right? And the engine API was like this, and I said that the function signature is memory arena pointer, then const char file name, and the function we will obviously now use, we will create a function in there that's from file assets inline, and it's gonna be what? A, right? Yes. And we will create this function, and we will actually just quickly use the function load bitmap, right? So we won't, we will just use the function load bitmap. I don't like it, but we will load bitmap from file. And we will say, what is the definition of function? Memory arena, pointer arena, and const char times file name. And I will simply say here file pointer file is fopen, obviously file name read binary, thank you Copilot. And then if not file, return null. Okay, Copilot, please don't do it like that. And then we will have load bitmap and close the file and return the bitmap. Okay. And this function will be set to, where's my ass stuff? Here it is. This function in this load bitmap will be just this function, right? Char change word load bitmap from file. Okay. It has same signature, it should just work. Okay. So now we have passed in the function, and let me go here and quit this window. We have passed in the function, right? It's passed in here. Assets, Jesus. Okay, assets or bitmap from file. That's where we are passing it. We are passing it here, and now we need to load some stuff in Pacman game. Right. And how are we gonna do that? This is gonna be very, very simple. I'm gonna keep a state enum game state. I'm gonna have game state loading, that's the default one, game state playing. Okay, that's it. And I will have an enum game state, sorry, game state. What's the matter? No. Let's just change till s. Just make it state. Okay. And this is very, very probably bad approach. I'm not sure. But if the game state is you know, loading, just check something. Yeah, I unmuted myself. Cool. So I can extend this one and go back to this game. So if the game state is loading, we don't handle all these key presses or anything like that, or drawing the sprites, whatever. It's just loading files. We are only loading files. One thing that I almost forgot about. Jump to assets inline. I do want to warn. I want to push out warn. File. Okay, fail. Come on, failed to open file. That's fine. Bitmap will not be loaded. Will not be loaded. Okay, and this guy in here, the bitmap function, what is he doing? He will crash the application if something is wrong with the bitmap, right? he can actually never return null. I'm fine with that. Okay, perfect. Jump to Pac-Man game. Okay, so now if oh, where's my game state? Game state is my global variable, right? If game state and equals game state loading, then we'll load stuff. After we have loaded it, we say game state is now game state playing. Right, that's it. This code will be surrounded if game state playing if game state equals game state playing, then we do this code here, right? Where is the false return? I'm looking. I think there must be a shortcut for this in Vim, like indent. It must be a shortcut. So we will actually do the assets here, right? Not here. Okay. After I have loaded the assets, then I will, play stuff. So let's see, just quickly see if, this, let me write save everything. No file name for buffer 13. Wow, okay, no worries. And debug and just build the game. It still works. See? Cool. So now what we need to do is we need to go to the editor, the sprites editor, and I will open up a recent guy. Here, my tile sprite, and I'll copy a few of those just so that we can, draw something out. So I will, just like do like a, yeah, I would like to do that, but like this, right? So that's one, Control C, and now can I do new from new file? Yeah, I can. I can probably just say Control V in here, right? And Control D so I can see what I did. Don't save. I will say Control D, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Yeah. And I have the marquee edit tool. Do I? Did I select everything? I've selected everything. Control C. Then the new guy. Control N is the new guy. Then Control V in here. Control D to make the stuff disappear and file save. I think I need to press export. Export. Output file. No. I think it's assets. Assets Pac-Man. And it's gonna be BMP, my friend, not the fancy pink file. I'm gonna call that tile 1. Okay. And export it. Okay. And here I'm gonna select the next tile. Alright, Control C, Control V, Control D, and I'm gonna export it again. But this time I'm gonna call it tile 2. Okay, and export that one. Okay. Now imagine what I'm gonna do next. I'm gonna copy this guy, say Control C, put it in here, Control V, and I kid you not, export this as style 3, number 3, not the 3 like it that grows in the forests, just number 3, and export it. Export for Twitter, wow. we have a different format on Twitter, I'm not sure. Anyway, I want to see if these guys now exist. So how do I access my files in there? Yeah, I'm on the other screen. You won't see my beautiful file system here. So it's called Add to Quake. Assets, right? I saved it in here. Assets, background, tile 1. Yeah, that looks fine. Tile 2, tile 3. Okay. And yeah, I immediately know that since I'm gonna load this from, you know, path to Quake stuff from the direct folder, you know, I'm in path to Quake, but the folder is in, let me show you, is in assets, Pac-Man, you know, here they are. So I'll just hard code the paths, right? That's it. There's no smarter way at the moment to do this. So I will just do it. And shall we save these guys to I will load 3 tiles, right? So I'll just do it like this. Bitmap pointer tiles 3. Okay, that's such stupid thing to do, but it's gonna work. Oh, okay. Okay. So it's game state tiles 0 is what was it, as load bitmap, and it's just what is it, assets, Pac-Man, tile 001 BMP, right? And I can paste this 2 times and just replace this with 1 and do the same. Replace this with 2, replace this with 3, and go back here and replace this with 2. Okay. Yeah, they expect like what's the K bitmap? It's a memory arena first, right? So this will be just you know, game memory. Right. Okay. And I don't know, we will see if this works, right? So let's build it. Scripts, build debug Pac-Man, and dot build. Oh, I'm really curious now. If I get this working from the first try, I'm gonna celebrate here. There's no error, but I'm still not convinced. So let's debug it. Build debug games Pac-Man. So I want to start, okay, and break at, will this work? Pac-Man game.c line number 41. Yes. Layout source. I think he does not. He figured it out. Continue. He figured it out. Good. So let's what I want to see what's in. Let's just try this. Print game state $0. Are you sure? There is one. Next. Print game state. Print game pointer dereference game state. Player pos x, player pos epsilon. Game state state. There's no member name state. Why? Don't you see that? The code is there, but he doesn't see it. Oh, he shouldn't be loading the second time. Oh, I see what's happening. He's probably... Where's my breakpoint? Clear all. I deleted breakpoint 3. L is list. Now breakpoints continue. Info B. To continue. Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. Here it is. Okay, something is wrong with my quit GDB. So he doesn't see, it seems that he doesn't see the stuff, the latest stuff, right? Control X. So if I push in a GDB build debug games Pac-Man leap game SO, and then I say break at Pac-Man game C line 38, and then from another window, oof, yeah, this will not, oof, what did I do now? Oh my god, this is really bad. Not enough room. Let's yeah, I need to quit all. Oh, sometimes technology is just bad. CD code, back to Quake, and then Vim, Elvim, I think it's called. Dot. Yeah, and then it's a runtime. And game. And now I can I will load up another terminal. I will seek if I have any GDB things. No, okay, cool. And let's make it like a smaller a bit. Because this, and in here I will just put a breakpoint GDB build Pac-Man leap Pac-Man game and break at Pac-Man game C line 38. Okay. And then let's go to CD code, the quick. Then we will do build games, build debug games, Pac-Man, Pac-Man. So now I have a different problem. I don't know how can I. So this is definitely not working. So I need this guy to quit and clear, and so he needs to be able to debug from here, but I need to be able also see the latest source. It's Pac-Man, Pac-Man. Right, and then I can start here and break Pac-Man game C line 38, right? Yes, and continue, right? But I don't understand. List. Layout source. Where am I? Here. Print game state. No, that means that's not possible. Quit. Let's do it a bit differently. Start. Okay, and I want to see the source. Then let's go next. He's opening the library. He is creating. He is initializing the library, right? And I want to step in here. And then I want to go next. Next. Step. Yeah, he doesn't see the sources properly. That's a deal breaker. That's definitely a deal breaker. Quit. Here. Okay, that's a deal breaker. I think that's a deal breaker. Oh, now I need to figure out why. Okay, I'll just continue this for now, then I'll figure this out later. So what I'm expecting to see here is game state loading. It's just that. I expect this to be just once. I don't see it at all, so why not? Are you kidding me? You know what's possible? Jesus, I forgot that this is uninitialized memory, right? So you can say game state is game state loading. You don't see it. Okay, so okay, this is really weird. Debug game tick. Back. Okay. That should really work. And there's no strange like if debug, then even though that should work right. Yep. So how do I do a game? Save this stuff, build it, and run it, and there's nothing. Why? Yeah. So the GDB debugger is correct. We don't, for some reason, I think that's because, oh my god, yeah, really. Maybe that script of mine. Yeah, that was the problem. Oh, scripts build debug. So it takes a parameter, right? And yeah. We need to always debug everything. I really don't like this, but yeah, I will need to change this a bit. Ooh. So I can't have it a game because that's target name. So it must be Pac-Man game, stupid thing. Right, and then in the CMake lists, it must be again a Pac-Man game. Pac-Man game. Yeah, that's just terrible. But this is how it needs to be. So then I can, you know, if I just want to do Pac-Man game, I can just do a Pac-Man game. And let me see, LL build debug games Pac-Man. Now I want to remove forcefully game SO, lib game SO. Okay, and if I do this, there's no more lib game SO, but there's lib Pac-Man game. So why have I changed the name of the target? Because now I can do scripts, build debug as heap Pac-Man game, right? So that's it. Or if I want to build the runtime, then or the engine part, then I can do like this. And if I want to obviously run this, then it's just build debug games Pac-Man game Pac-Man. And now we have this thingies down there, and now I will try to, you know, debug this. So the GDB was correct, I was incorrect. I thought that I am smarter than GDB, obviously not. Okay, I've built the Pac-Man game only. And now if I go to my GDB stuff, GDB build debug games, Pac-Man. Right, and now I can actually start it and break at, you know, Pac-Man game, see line 39 this time. Yeah, it is line 39. Yes, and continue. And he has already broken then, and then I can see the source. And I can now print game state. It's loading. All right. And if I continue again next time, and if I print the game state, it's playing, so it shouldn't ever go into these tiles anymore. And if I print game state, tiles 0, I'll get some kind of bitmap. So I think I can actually what's the print game state tiles 0 like this. That yes. So it's with height 16 pixel format and data and some data. Yeah. And if I print the game memory now and do it again, but this time dereference it, I will get a size used. Okay, 1 megabyte, right? And I've used only 2.4 kilobytes. Let's do some quick calculation. 16 by 16 by 3 times 3. Yeah, 2304 kilobytes. That's it. That's a bit. I think that's enough. Then if I info breakpoints, and what's the command for delete breakpoint 2, and now I continue, and then I can now go into the game itself. It will work now. Yeah. Cool, quit and clear screen. Okay, we've got that right now. This appears to be working. So it's loading the 3 tiles. So the next thing, I'll do a short break. I need to drink some commercially unavailable drinks. I'm back. So now the idea is to be able to, just draw a bitmap, right? So for example, somewhere in here, I would actually specify what the bitmap is. Somewhere in here, I can say game state, tiles 0, and that will have a bitmap pointer. And obviously this is now a problem, and I don't even want to specify the width and height anymore, right? Because what was it in this thing? Go to definition. Yes, where is that? That's in the engine impl gl graphics GL, OpenGL, and draw sprite somewhere. Yep, here. Next. Yeah. ZZ. Okay, so that's in here. And why do we even have width and height? Let me just see that. I forgot why. We need to specify the width and the height so that we can pass that to our shader. But I I don't want that anymore. So because the width and height is actually encoded in the bitmap itself, so I'll just delete it here and hope for the best. Why not forget? But what we will do is that I will simply go into the engine API and I will redefine this draw sprite thing. My assets should be in front of this, right? Okay, I definitively need to move memory all the way up, and assets right below it. It doesn't make sense, you know. I will use memory and assets all around the program, so we need to kind of put it even above the input, right somewhere here, and that should still hold the water. This, let's make more room because this thing will probably now go all the way down where I define the function for drawing the sprite, and this is defined here, and this will now be only a bitmap pointer BMP. Okay. Oof. And now obviously we need to go to graphics GL, where we will go to definition and change the definition to bitmap pointer BMP. Actually, this should be const. I need to change that because we want to change the bitmap, right? And then go down, change till this, and let's make it const bitmap BMP. Unused parameter. And one last thing, we need to go back to engine API and just say it's a const. We won't change it, that's why I'm forcing it to be const. And now I want to first close all the stuff except for this one and just implement it, change it, right? So first thing, instead of width and height, I have BMP width, right? And BMP height, okay? And and I want to, before I do a draw call, this is the draw call, I actually want to upload the bitmap, upload sprite. Something like static void upload sprite to texture. Right, and I will say const bitmap pointer BMP. Okay. And this thingy, I can specify the texture ID, I guess. Just see, I think it's GLU int, but I always forget what it is. It's GLU int, yeah. GLU int texture it like this. Okay. And now I only need to pick up that code from here, right? So this is the code. This one is 2 by 2 pixels. Can I make it? Should I make it 16 by 16 in front? If I make it 16 by 16 in front, then... Oh, this is hard hack. I really don't like it. To do hard hack, to put hard. This is a hack. Should do something smarter. Right, so I can change it to 16 by 16 and do not upload any data, just say no. Right, so that will reserve the memory but will not upload anything. And just end if this and this. Beautiful, beautiful code. Allocating memory for 16 by 16 RGB. But we are not doing anything. And I have discovered also a bug here, so how this worked, I'm not sure. Yeah, because it's RGB actually. Never mind, it's not a bug. So I will just copy this entire stuff. I really don't like it, but it should probably work, right? So I can say texture it here. Okay, I can delete this guy. And then I can say saved pack, saved unpack alignment, pixel star E is gonna be BMP alignment. That's fine. I'm not sure. This should work. I'm not sure. So this should work. BMP with... Really not sure, but I don't see a reason why this should not work. And instead of this, right, we need to do something. What was it? What was it? I think I had it in the bitmap page. There was a function. Did I not have the function? Anyway, we need to have a GLenum BMP pixel format is get bitmap pixel format for GL, I guess. Get open GL bitmap pixel format, and we pass in the BMP, and this thing is gonna be in here, right? BMP pixel format. That's what I need to do here. I will implement this function, so I'm loading it here. I need to pass in the data, okay, and that's it. So we set parameters and then we unbind texture. And if if I kind of want to integrate this, I can, right? So I can just say so xx and dd and dd, and then just say kind of in here, because this one is upload sprite to texture, and after I draw everything I can just do the packets GL point texture, not bean but bind. This is the draw call, this is the upload sprite to texture, so this will upload sprite to active textures. So let's rename that one. Change word sprite to active texture. And we need to also implement this one. So this one will return GL enum. And so we are passing in bitmap pointer BMP, right? And now we have that switch BMP. What is it? It is format, right? And let's see. I hope this guy will complete everything. Yeah, that's not even true, right? So it's a pixel format RGB, RGBA. There's PGR, grayscale. That's just the right one. And I don't like how he formatted that for me, so let's to the next line. Right, that's not nice formatting. Okay. And obviously I forgot that it needs to be const, so that's cool. And yeah, I think that's it. So I need to build Pac-Man, works, Pac-Man game, works. Oh. Oh. I would be surprised totally if this actually works for me. Yes, it doesn't work. Why not? Why not? It's black. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. I had some kind of, I had a clear OpenGL errors. That's auto completion. Then I had like a assert OpenGL error. So this should crash me immediately if, you know. Huh. I'm looking at what's wrong. Upload. PMP data. Pixel format. Upload sprite, text parameter, nearest, that's all fine. Then he unbinds the texture. He should not unbind the texture, man. No, don't unbind the texture. You didn't bind it. You should not unbind it. Be normal. Be normal. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, can you believe this? This is now my game. Yes, 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 yes. But we can make it better. And we will, because now I will go to the game code and I will draw two sprites. I will draw three sprites. Draw sprite, game state, oops, player plus x, yes, games, actually game state player plus x plus 16, aha. Game state player plus epsilon and game state tiles 1. And I will do that for you know, this one is gonna be 32. And this is now the question, will this work or will it just simply use the last sprite? We will see very soon actually. So now I can build only the Pac-Man game, right? And run it. Oh, it works, ladies and gentlemen. This actually works. There is some slight problems with it, but it works. I get some kind of strange artifact. 1 pixel is not loaded here. At this point I have a problem with one small pixel. What is that? Only at this point, right? Yep. Amazing. To figure this out. And if I move it down or move it up, really strange. Something with the rounding, probably, right? So my player pause X, it depends on the player pause X only. I will need to figure out what's the problem. Oh, that's gonna be difficult. And it still can do 1309.7 frames per second. But it works, right? So the technique actually works. We don't generate new textures, we just use the single texture for different roll calls. And OpenGL does his magic, right? And that's extremely cool. That's extremely cool. My dog is very sad. Yeah, I really like this now. So it's not, it's not the best thing yet. But it works. We can improve this on several different levels. Yeah, definitely we can do that. Oh, I wonder if I always forget that I'm in. I wonder if I no, not here, Pac-Man runtime. It's the main function, yes. So when I create the arena, I allocate some memory. Do I destroy the memory anywhere? No, I don't. So I should, you know, Probably where? Probably somewhere here. Is the release the arena memory. And we can say was it game memory, right? Base, and it's just free, just for the sake of completeness. So now I need to build Pac-Man. I will build Pac-Man game as well. It's very nicely. And just, you know, run it. It should be fine. Games, Pac-Man. Pac-Man. Yeah, this is really strange issue, right? How will I capture this problem? The really strange issue. Let me see if I will see this problem. Yeah, it's not because of, it's just rounding error, I believe. It shouldn't be, right? Because it's saying 16 and 32. It shouldn't be the width, right? Okay, and can we debug this? Yes, I believe we can. So we will need to go to buffer, jump Pac-Man game. Okay. And let's do GDB stuff. Build debug games Pac-Man. Pac-Man started up and continue for now. Okay, and now I want to place it in here. Okay. Go back here and say I want to break at game tick. How can I do this now? Can I even access his functions? No. I'm not sure, to be honest. This could be an error in projecting the texture to this frame buffer. That could be it. I'm not sure how I can debug this. Now here. Let me see if I can somehow GDB debug desktop app stop it in while executing. Maybe this will help us. GDBP. Not sure. We'll handle this later, I guess. But we can draw the bitmaps now. We can load any bitmap. Let's try that. There's one more bitmap I have in here. That's a test sprite sheet bitmap, right? And instead of, I can extend this to be number 4, replace 4, and then I can just load this game state. Tiles 3 is as load bitmap game. Game memory, and it's gonna be assets, Pac-Man, it's test sprite sheet PMP, and out, and now just say GFX draw sprite. Say game state player pause X, and I can say game state player pause Y, but this time plus 16, and it's gonna be game state tiles. Thank you for nothing, Copilot. Game state tiles 3. And if I am not wrong, I can now just change the Pac-Man game and run the game again. And now I have all of these things, you see. You see this? See this? So let's see, it will not break the... Will it? No, it doesn't break the guy below. No, it's just... And anyway, we can basically load up any bitmap, upload it to a texture, then issue a draw call. Yeah, it just works, and issue a draw call, and the OpenGL keeps the stuff probably in memory while until he flushes it or something. I'm not creating a new texture, I'm pretty sure. So we're not generating new textures, but it's extremely inefficient, you know, way to render stuff. But I do believe this is how they did it back ago, when first OpenGL was created, right? So I'm not kind of scared of this or something like that. I'm just surprised that it works, right? Which makes me wonder now, how can we make this better? So I have this problem with this sprite over there. So as far as I can see, the guy is only offsetted by 1 pixel. So that looks like to be a rounding error. He's moved by 1 pixel right to right. That looks to be an rounding error. So why is that happening? That shouldn't be happening. Oh. Where is the rounding error? Is it on? Strange. I'll need to figure this out sooner than later. It has, so his position on X is moved by 32. So this average UPS, that's the actual frame of the, let me show you. So there is main function, it's here, and let's go average UPS, right? I'm printing this out somewhere. Our AVG it was, right? So game frame rate is frame count over the accumulated game time, and accumulated game time is just how long the frame takes from here to here, including the swap buffers and including the game tick function call. And we are obviously very fast in here, right? So I believe we can, so what we are doing here in this time, we are polling the events, we are updating the viewport, we are updating the input state, we are clearing the buffer, we are executing the game logic, and we're testing if the window should close, and we are swapping the buffers. So, and we measure how much time we, you know, how much time it requires us to do that. And then we are just a second, I can do this better, right? Frame entity, yeah. Calculate it twice, right? Yes, and we just, so this is the frame delta there, and the frame delta there will also include, if it's less of the game time step, then we need to sleep a bit, right? So it doesn't make sense to call this platform sleep. I can just call it probably sleep. Right, just like this. You can just sleep. And if, you know, it was longer than what we want, like 60 frames per second, right? If any frame took longer than that, then we push out this warning. But we basically don't want to. So we have two timers where we measure it, one timer is somewhere in here, and we should move that. Yeah, that's wrong. So this should be after game init, right? Yeah. This should be here. So we are now starting the game. After we have initialized the game, we are now starting it. We have this game start D, and we should also do this stuff. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 lines, right? 7 DD. We should also do this above it. Yeah, so that we can, you know, get total game time is get current time in seconds minus game start, which is just before the main loop. Then we have frame duration. That's for a single frame, basically, with sleep included. Frame rate, again, with sleep included. And then we have game frame duration and game frame rate, which is without sleep included, right? And let's build the stuff here. We want to build Pac-Man. We need to build Pac-Man game. No, there's no changes there, but we really need to figure out why this happens. This thing here is kind of irritating. It's moved by 1 pixel. Why are you moving him by 1 pixel? Why by one pixel? Okay, it worked. And let's go to Pac-Man game and let's see if I kind of convert this to int. All right. Will that help? Yes. I don't have the error anymore. Or we should probably do this for what's the word? Change word int 32. And I should probably be yank and then it in here as well. Paste. Paste. It was just a rounding error, as you can see. Everything goes off. This is handled completely by OpenGL, like all this stuff. Right, this is cool. And that's it. We have average game, you know, without sleep is 900 frames per second. And we have, we are at 60 frames per second for the game with sleep itself, and that seems all fine. So let's make it so, right, git status, git add, git commit, implement bitmap drawing draws. Implement, yeah, implement bitmap draw bit push. We're done. Am I on main branch, master branch? Yes, I am. So that's it. This file can go away. Delete bitmap, yes. Let's do that as well. Git status. Delete bitmap page as its content was moved to platform engine API. Git push master. Git push. Just push them. Okay, and I hope everything still works, right? So it should work. Game works, Batman works, right? Yep. And now we just again test it out. Yeah, it works perfectly. And sound is a bit. So we need to do something about this sound. Right. Okay. That's it. That's it for now. I'm really happy what this turned out. So it's not perfect, but it will serve the purpose for now, right? So later on we will do stuff, fancy stuff, like I'm not even sure what I will do yet. So I might decide to do one batch larger, you know, all the sprites placed into a single texture at the beginning, so you don't need to reload them each time when you're drawing, right? That could be a solution. There's also a thing called, where is it? There's also a thing called OpenGL texture array. We could use that. Yeah, array texture. That's the thing. So an array texture is a texture where each bitmap level contains an array of images of the same size. And here's a example how you would use it. So this uses actually GL text storage 3D. So GL texture, meep level count, GL RGBA, width, height, layer count. And meep level count, layer count. Where's the layer count? Is 2. Yeah, I'm not sure yet how to use it, but yeah, but I'll figure it out. So texels for first image, texels for second image. We could do it like that. With these things, I've seen people use it on the internet just for these things, but I kind of like it more when you pack everything into a single texture and say goodbye. We don't care, right? That's it, because you know it's management of single texture is gonna be easier. However, then we need to do some, you know, calculation of UV coordinates when we are working in our shader. So I'll see. For now, we'll just keep this nonsensical approach. Actually, let me check man gl text image 2D, right? So that's the function. Man gl text image 2D, that's the function. Okay, so let's see what he says. I'm not sure if this actually destroys the previous texture data. Yeah, I should probably investigate this on internet. But there's nothing in specification saying that specify a two-dimensional texture image. Texturing allows to be read by shaders to define call GL. The argument describes the parameter if target is to form elements. Each data byte is treated as 8 1-bit elements with bit ordering. Yeah, but I don't see anywhere. I don't see anywhere if he is releasing the memory. That's what's worrying me now. It doesn't say anything, right? So let's see if, you know, internet knows anything. Overwrite. Okay, so this guy says the guy's name is Sergey K. He says in modern OpenGL there are 4 different methods to update 2D textures. GLText image 2D, the slowest one recreates internal data structures. So I believe that means that he will overwrite everything, right? GLText sub image 2D a bit faster but can't change the parameters, size, pixel format of the image. Render to texture with FBO, update texture entirely on GPU, very fast, refer to this answer to more details. Pixel buffer object for fast uploads from CPU to GPU, not supported yet on OpenGL AS. And let's see what he says. The most effective technique to change the pixels in the texture is called render to texture and can be done in OpenGL as via frame buffer objects. On desktop OpenGL, you can use pixel buffer object to manipulate pixel data directly on GPU. Oh, that's really nice. On unextended OpenGL, you can change the pixels in system memory and then update the texture with GLText image or subimage 2D, but this is inefficient, last resort solution and should be avoided if possible. GLText subimage 2D is usually much faster since it only updates pixel inside the existing texture, while GLText image 2D creates entirely new texture. As a benefit, you can change the size and pixel format of the texture. On the other side, you say that you want it to work with Open, so it should propose to do the following: replace with some image if you gain enough performance. That's it. Implement render to texture with FBO and shaders. It will require far more work to rewrite your code, but will give even better performance. For FBOs, the code can look like this. Da-da-da. Buffer texture 2D, color attachment, no, 0. Your texture ID 0. Okay, so I attach my texture there by frame buffer. Render to frame buffer object. Clean up. That's actually a good information. So instead of, I was planning to use the text image 2D. Anyway, it's just that the logic needs to decide, oh, do I need to recreate the texture, right? Or can I just copy stuff, right? Okay, let me do that then. Maximize this window and let's go into our good old OpenGL inline. Let's go up to see what do we have in here. So we have this texture ID, right? but maybe we want to save more information about the texture ID, such as texture width and texture height. Thank you. And I have this GL graphics where I initialize everything to 0. And where is this gonna be? You could stop. Okay, here it is. So texture. Here it is. So it's buying texture, gen textures, and this is where I can now say that GL graphics, right? GL graphics texture render texture width is 16 and 16, and I don't need these guys too. Right, I really don't need them, and I don't need this because I'm actually not loading anything. Okay, and now if I have a upload, right, I can say following. I can say if my GL graphics texture render texture width let me see if he's done it correctly. Or yeah, that seems fine. I think it's fine. But you always need to extra carefully check what he is doing because these things are quite stupid. The AI can be quite stupid. I can be as well, but so if the texture width that I saved earlier is not bitmap width or bitmap not bitmap height, then I will create a new texture, right? Otherwise, I will upload a texture. Yes. Let's see if this will work. Let's compress this thing is. So I will just upload it. Okay. GL text image 2D. What he's saying, level, x offset, y offset, width and height, that's correct. BMP pixel format, that's correct. Pixel type probably. And the pixels. Look at what he did here. My God. Now notice the error. Should upload this thing immediately, right? Why not? BMP data, yes, like this, right? Look, he didn't. And let's go back to that GL text image. I'm just interested in x offset and y offset. Specifies text offset, okay? Within a texture array, so that's probably just the text reference replace the portion of the existing texture array with x indices 6 offset inclusive and y. This region may not include any textures outside the range of the texture. What kind of non-zero name buffer object? I think this will just work. So how do I close this quick jump list? To and Pac-Man game, and it still works. Okay. And if I go here but here and clear everything, I just want to make sure that this is executed properly. GDB build debug games, Pac-Man, start, and then break at upload sprite to active texture, continue, then just see layout, source site, yeah, okay. Next, so he gets the integer, save the back alignment. Next, let me just first check the BMP stuff in here. Print BMP, so it's a normal texture. Go next, next. This should only do the sub image now. Yeah. So that's faster, right? And if I continue, now I have next, I have print BMP. So I'm still at 16. Next. That's correct. Continue. Next. BMP, that one is still 16. Next. Continue. Now if I go next and print BMP, that one is the 64 guy. Okay, now he will go next. Ah, you see, that's it. Right, so he's recreating the image now. And now I can, what's the word, EB, guess delete to, and just continue and just play with the game a bit. Yeah, so. And that's it. So I can quit this and clear. Yes, that's it. And one other thing, I don't need to call these guys down there, right? Every time, do I? So this will set it for active texture. If I recreate it, I need to, I guess. Or did it? Let's put it up here. Let's this escape. Huh? Do I need to? No, this looks correct. Yeah, let's wait a bit to see how much. Was the frames per second that I can expect. Yeah, it's still 937. kind of didn't help a lot. So yeah, the main game frame rate is stable. Yeah. Think I can now say what's the time actually did that. Commit optimize the text, the sprite rendering by using GL text sub image when sprite size does not change, right? Git push, that's it. And now it's really done for today. We are already live for 2 hours, 15 minutes. Next time we will do tile map. Thank you and bye.